December 22nd, 2018 is when I first created this very own channel of mine. I've had recent channels in the past, I had another channel back when I was maybe early middle school ish, I believe. I made a lot of different content over the years. My very first video ever was me making an intro, because for some reason back in like the early 2015, 2016 era, I was really into making like intros, like those stupid shitty fucking 3D intros you guys would make in Blender and After Effects and all that. For some reason I just really liked them. So I did that for a bit, and then I slowly transitioned into editing. I liked editing. I really into Call of Duty montages back then. If you were around 2016-ish, around that time, like the peak of like Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 3, MW2, back when FaZe was still doing trick shots and Phase Rain was still fat and all that, you would every now and again see a sniping montage or a clan montage or something. And then I started editing Call of Duty montages for a bit. That they weren't great either. They were pretty bad looking back at them now. But I didn't care. I was having fun with them. I even joined a couple of clans back then as an editor. Even though I'm pretty sure I spent more time playing with like the members opposed to actually sitting down and making their montages. Eventually I led to the discovery that I just like making content. I've always wanted to be a YouTuber since I was like very little. I grew up on Tobuscus. I don't know who remembers that name, that old name, but yeah, Tobuscus, who else? Scott is Minecraft, just early 2000s, fucking like 2010s. Just if you were a kid back then, bro, 9 times out of 10 you knew who I'm talking about. And like I grew up as like Vanoss Gaming and KYR Speedy when GTA 5 came out. To say that I was inspired is like, I think, an understatement. Watched a lot of Leafies here, fucking Filthy Frank, iDubbbz. My track record is pretty long, right? So from I was 13 up until now, I've basically made probably well over like, I think, 200 plus videos over the span of the couple channels I've had, at least maybe 300. So for me, basically YouTube is one of my bread and butters, so I really like making YouTube content. My very first video on this channel was a commentary video. I talked about Linemaker, who was a infamous YouTuber back then for being canceled for being a predator. I talked about that. It wasn't a really good video because it was like 4 minutes long, but I didn't really talk about anything. But I liked it at the time. Looking back at it now, it's kind of cringy. And then I got into Fortnite like that same following year. I was playing a lot of Fortnite. This was back around season 7-ish, season 8 of chapter 1 of Fortnite. So I like making content on there, and then very slowly transitioned from like that to making funny moments with my friends at the time, and then slowly became a Fortnite YouTuber. And then I quit that after a while, and then slowly transitioned to like more of an FPS / montage channel. And then that's what I've basically been doing for most of my channel. It's crazy because it feels like I haven't done much on my channel. For the amount of videos and the amount of time I was putting into like all these games, it didn't feel like I had put a lot of time and effort into them. I had a few decent videos here and there, but for the most part they were pretty lackluster and they're kind of boring, to be honest. So like some of these were pretty decent in terms of views, and then slowly transitioned to other games, Overwatch, Battlefield, Halo. And then over the course of like last year, I played a lot of finals. The finals pretty fun. I clocked in about maybe 250 hours. I basically kind of took a giant break, and then I basically been MIA from this channel for like 7 months now. My last video was Overwatch, and it was like a Widowmaker montage, but it really wasn't anything special, to be honest. I just kind of put it up there, and it's been sitting there for 7 months. My channel's basically been laid dormant for almost 8 months now. I think the main reason why I stopped making these videos, it was just I got bored. I didn't like my content. Personally, I hated it. I would play games, but I wouldn't record them because I put myself in a weird predicament. It's like I played FPS games, but they weren't like full. It wasn't fully gameplay. It was just compilations. It was just montages and highlights. And when I did try to do something that wasn't montages, the videos would tank. It wouldn't do great, which sucked for me because I would put so much time and effort into those videos, and then they don't do well. you know, that messed up with me mentally. So it got to the point where I just inevitably just stopped uploading on this channel. And there was other factors too. The FPS game market right now has just been shits in the last like 5 years anyway, and I've really felt that in like last year or so. And I haven't really sat down and played anything else. To the mixture of my videos being kind of like luster and boring, to FPS market being in the worst state it's been in the last 5 years, you know, I was just kind of like, I'm done. I gotta call it quits, you know. And then, you know, I knew I still had a passion to make videos. I gotta pivot from this to something else, you know. Hence why I made my second channel, Just Yex. You know, I'm having way more fun on that channel than my main channel, because I can actually branch out. I can play wherever I want. You know, I was having pretty decent time. You know, I've essentially put myself in a corner with my main channel. I didn't realize that at the time, but yeah, that's basically what happened. I put myself in a weird predicament. You know, I've kind of grown more fond of just sitting down, talking over my microphone for a couple minutes with some fucking gameplay in the background. And that's honestly what I'm probably gonna do for this channel. I'm probably just gonna keep it to a more, I guess, commentary channel. I'd rather put all my focus and energy onto my second channel. You know, all the crazy editing and wacky, insane moments and all that on that channel posted. And I probably keep this channel as like a little just chill corner, you know, where I just sit down for a video and just talk about stuff that's going on in my mind. You know, so I have a lot of stuff that goes on in my mind, and it's crazy. I'll be at work and I'll just sitting there talking to myself as if I am making a video. You know, it's crazy. So that's probably what I'm gonna do for this channel. I just want to be able to fully show off my personality. It's kind of hard to do that when it's just no face cam, no mic. I'm not gonna delete any videos or anything. I'm keep them up, because you know, the moment I start deleting stuff off this channel, it's just gonna hurt my algorithm. So yeah, I'm gonna keep all my other videos up, but from here on out, it's going to be a chill commentary, old school, completely different vibes to what it was originally going to be. Yeah, I think it's just time for change. You know, nothing wrong with change. You know, it's 2025. You know, next couple of videos on this channel is going to be some commentary videos. You know, some stuff I've had some thought about, I have some ideas written down for a video. So yeah, if you guys are new to this channel, or if this somehow just reaches you, welcome to the channel. My name's Yex. I go by Yexrobd, but just call me Yex. It's way easier to pronounce. I'm tired of people butchering my name. I also created a brand new Instagram, so if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it's just Yex on Instagram. So anyway, hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys around.